Hi, good morning to everyone. I welcome you all for today's webinar. My name is Madhvi, working as an assistant professor in computer science department at Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College, KGF. Today's webinar topic is dark side of the mobile apps. Whenever there are a huge number of people using an app, there is a dark side. Before getting into the dark side of mobile apps, let us know few things about mobile and mobile apps. In today's webinar, we are going to cover these topics one by one. First, what is mobile phone? Next, what is smartphone? What are the major mobile phone operating systems? What is a mobile app? Types of mobile apps by technology, advantages of mobile apps, risk of mobile apps, how to be safe. So these are the contents we are going to discuss today. First, let us move on to the topic, what is a mobile phone? So a mobile phone is nothing but a portable telephone. It can make and receive calls over a radio frequency while the user is moving within a telephone service area. In the late 2000s, mobile phones were built to support a variety of services such as text, messaging, MMS, email, internet access, short-range wireless communications like infrared and Bluetooth, games and digital photography. Mobile phones with these capabilities were known as feature phones. Also we were using as a keypad phones. The next topic is what is smartphone? Smartphones are mobile phones with multi-purpose mobile computing. Smartphones have stronger hardware and mobile operating systems which provide app support, internet browsing through 3G and 4G networks, then multimedia functionality which includes music, video, camera, gaming and long-range wireless communication such as Wi-Fi, satellite navigation. So these type of phones, these features are called as smartphones. Next, let us move on to the operating system which has in the smartphones. There are two operating systems that can be installed in the smartphones. One operating system is Android operating system that is developed by Google. Majority of smartphones runs on Android operating system. The other operating system is nothing but iOS operating system developed by Apple. iOS exclusively built for Apple smartphones. Next is what is mobile app? So we have to know about the mobile app. So generally in the mobiles we start to install the apps. So let us know what is apps. A mobile app is a software application. This application is mainly designed to run a mobile device. The initial stages of apps were built for productivity assistance such as email, calendar, etc. Later, the demand for apps caused rapid expansion of apps into other areas such as social network, mobile games, e-commerce and so on. In Apple iOS device, the apps are downloaded from the App Store. So all the iOS devices, if you want to install any apps, the apps can be installed only through the App Store. And coming towards the Android device, if you want to install any apps, that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. So these are the two ways of downloading the devices for two different operating systems. Next, let us move on to the topic types of mobile apps by technology. There are three basic types of mobile apps. One is native apps, the second is hybrid apps and the third is web apps. Let us see one by one. The first app is nothing but native apps. So native apps are nothing but are created for one specific operating system. It can be installed through an application store such as Google Play Store or Apps App Store. So we know that for iOS we can install the apps only through App Store, specifically for iOS devices. And coming to the Android devices, the apps can be downloaded only through the Google Play Store. So example, you can have a WhatsApp separately for the iOS device and the WhatsApp separate app for the Android device. Next, let us move on to the hybrid apps. So hybrid apps are nothing but combinations of both native and web apps. It has its own icon and can be downloaded from an app store. So certain apps can be used for both native and web apps. So that apps are nothing but we call as in generally an hybrid apps. The next topic is nothing but web apps. Web apps are nothing but responsive version of websites that can work on any mobile devices because they are delivered using a mobile browser. So these apps are nothing but called as an web apps. The next topic is advantages of mobile apps. So there are few advantages of the mobile apps. Mobile apps are faster, personalized content, instant online and offline access using device features, push notifications and instant updates. So these are the advantages of mobile apps. Let us see one by one. The first advantage is mobile apps are faster. Applications are usually 1.5 times faster than the mobile websites. Applications store their data locally on your device and data retrieval happens in the blink of an eye. In case of websites, data needs to be fetched from the web server, which can take from few seconds to a minute depending upon the network speed. So here, see the mobile websites, in websites if you want to open, it takes certain time because the data will be fetched from the server. Coming towards the mobile apps, the data will be stored in the internal device itself. So it is easily fetched very faster than the website. Next advantage is personalized content. Apps offer personalized content based on users' interest, behavior, location, search engine results. Offering personalized content will make the customers happy and sell products and devices. It's very easy. In search engine, if you search anything, if you want to buy any product, you'll be searching in the search engine. So those products immediately you can see in the Amazon or Flipkart. So this how the result is being given, this how the data is fetched from the user and it is being given to the other apps. So it shows our interest and it's made the marketing for the other companies also. Next is instant online and offline access. So here all the mobile apps offer instant access by a tap. They allow users to continue their content quickly. So websites we cannot use without internet, but the mobile apps can be used with internet as well as without internet also. So apps will be working offline also, certain apps will be working with online also. Example, if you want to open an Amazon in the website, only if you open the browser and if you sign in with your Gmail, only then you will be opening your Amazon app. But coming to the apps, if you install your Amazon app already, when you go to the Amazon, at least you can search the things what you required and you can add into the cart. So all these features can be done with the offline process only. So this is the difference between online and offline access. Next is using device features. Mobile apps can be allowed to utilize various features of device like camera that can scan PDFs, QR codes, barcodes and NFC to use for payments. GPS to connect with maps and accelerometer, gyrometer and compass that can be utilized for various purposes. Example, if you want to access your internal components, that is nothing but the hardware components of your mobile. So then that can be accessed also with the help of the apps. Example, I want to know the direction, which side I have to move. Then I can use the compass. So if you want to use the compass, whether you have to move towards the north side, east or west or south, then you have to install the app for the compass. Only then it will show you the direction, which side you have to move. Same thing like a GPS also. Next is push notification and instant updates. So business enterprises build app for their brand to send instant notification to the app users. In-app notifications are received when a user opens an app on other devices. Push notifications are received on devices regardless a user open on an app or not. So there are two notifications. One is in-app notification, the other one is push notification. A simple example I like to give here. When you open your WhatsApp, so when you have opened already your WhatsApp, you'll be getting some notifications. That is nothing but your messages. That is nothing but we call as an in-app notification. If you have not opened your WhatsApp at all, but you'll be getting the messages in your screen. Okay, when you can scroll and see certain messages has come. That is nothing but we call as a push notification. This we call as a push notification. The apps can be updated on regular basis through Play Store or App Store. So these are nothing but we call as an instant updates. So you can update your apps because we would be installed the older version. Now the latest version will be updated. So always it asks you to update in the Play Store. So we have to go for the Play Store when we have to update the apps. That is nothing but we call as push notification and instant updates. So next let us move on to the topic potential dangers of mobile apps. Four categories of apps are potentially dangerous for the app user. They are social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Next is gaming apps like PUBG, Call of Duty, Free Fire, etc. Next the video sharing apps like TikTok and other apps you have many. Next is third party apps. So these are the apps which are very dangerous in the mobile apps. So let us see one by one how dangerous it is in the mobile apps. The first one is social media apps. Social media or online platform which helps user to stay connected with family and friends. Account in social media platforms are created by providing personal information of the user like name, email address, date of birth, personal likes and dislikes of the user. The user data are collected and stored by the app company. We know that once when you want to install a Facebook, all these details it will be asking you for the sign up. First you have to register with these details. After registering with these details only it allow you to use the app. So those data is being sold to the other companies. So this user data are used by the app companies to deliver personal ads to make a sale and make the profits. Sometimes these sensitive user data are being sold to the third party companies to make the profit. In 2016, the social media giant Facebook faced a problem for leaking data of 50 million US citizens to Cambridge Analytica company. There is a conspiracy that this user data leak played a major role in 2016 US presidential election. Next, let us move on to the gaming app. Today, a lot of violent online games are introduced for the mobile platform. That is PUBG, Call of Duty, Free Fire, like that it goes on many apps. Or a few violent games available at a free of cost to be downloaded from the Play Store and App Store. Excess violence in games can trigger aggressive thoughts, emotions and behavior that ultimately affects the mental health of the player. Few murder cases were reported throughout the world when the gamers were not allowed to play the game. Example, in Karnataka also there was a case registered. So, a son killed his father for not allowing to play the game. So, the reason was he was completely addicted to this game. So, these type of game, when they are addicted, when the parents doesn't allow to play the game, so immediately they will be triggered. So, when they are triggered, they don't know what they are going to do emotionally, or we don't know, they are completely addicted, they need that game. So when they are so much triggered, so immediately they started to do anything what they need. So he has killed his father. So these how the apps is being addicted for the players. If the game publishing companies are offering the games free of cost, then how does the companies make profit? It's very simple. and sensitive too. These companies sells user data to third-party companies and make profit. These games today are worth of billions of dollars. So the dollars, the amount is nothing but we, because we play the games. We play the games, so the amount is played through us in the format of dollars, billions of dollars. The next topic is video sharing app. Flooded with mature and adult content, videos are shared about violence, hate speech, sexually explicit content. It is designed to be addictive. The app provides a For You feed, which is personalized. The machine learning system of the app analyzes each video and tracks user interest. Hence, the app continually serves the user with a stream of videos and hold user attention. A simple thing, when you use this TikTok apps and all, you'll be scrolling. If you are interested to watch any videos, like some will be interested to watch videos regarding the baby, some will be interested to watch the video regarding the adult content, some will be having the interest of watching the video regarding dancing, singing, like that. So first time you want to watch a dance, example you're watching the video of dance, and you click on that video, the next upcoming video will be based on the dance one. This how they create the interest for the users, this how they make addiction for the users, and all the videos will be regarding that. So they need not to, they want to use continuously this app because they are interested, because the videos upcoming are related to them. This how the marketing is going on the app. The US government detected privacy issue in the app. The US military branches blocked access to TikTok app, reasoning it is a Chinese spy app. So the completely the US government has been blocked of using this app because it's nothing but a Chinese spy app. Next, let us move on to third-party apps. The third-party apps are developed by app development companies or individual developers. There is a high risk that these third-party apps contain malware and spyware. With the use of malware and spyware, hackers can hack the mobile device and extract sensitive data from the mobile device. Example, photo editing and video editing, many apps we have. Okay, so in these apps, it asks you a lot of permissions for us. So when it asks the permission, we never see what type of permission it is asking. We'll be giving the camera permission. It'll ask you the camera, message, context, all the permission. Immediately we used to give allow, allow, allow. So when you allow the permissions, so the data is being extracted by the users. So each camera, individual's camera will be hacked by the hackers because the camera permission is being given. So this how the data is being fetched and it is being sold to the third party companies. So hackers can even spy an individual through the mobile cameras. So we have seen the advantages of the mobile apps, and also we have seen the disadvantages of the mobile apps. That is nothing but potential dangers of the mobile apps. Now let us see how to be safe out of all these problems. We have to be safe. How to use the mobile phones then. So first thing, the smartphones with internet connection should be given to a person over 18 years of age. Yes, so 18 years of age, over 18 years of age only they have to use with the internet connection. If it is necessary to use with the children, so parents have to monitor their son or daughter. They have to sit next to them and monitor what they are using. That is very important because nowadays in schools and all, they have lot of projects regarding their need of search of some pictures, they need the internet. So what the children will do, they ask because they see that parents are using their mobile. Okay, so we are itself an addiction. Once when we come to home, we never spend the time with the children. What we do, immediately we take our mobile and we start seeing whatever we feel in the mobile. So what the children will think, children also will think to feel to use the mobile. This how we create the interest for them to using the mobile. So let us come. If they won't have any project or anything they want to the mobile, the first thing what they ask, they'll ask you, give me your phone, I have certain projects, I have to do this work. So what you have to do, sit with them, spend the time, what they are doing, observe it. So train them. So do the work along with them. So only then the children will be monitored in a neat manner and it will be very useful for their future also. So don't give the mobile to them and allow alone to use the mobile. It's very irrelevant or it's very dangerous to use it for the children. Should avoid installing irrelevant apps. So when you see many people, they have irrelevant apps in the mobile. They don't know for what purpose they are keeping the apps only. Lot of apps will be installed in the mobile, because one of their friend, if they install any other app because they like one app, even they immediately the friend will be installing this app. Reason, they have installed, even I have to install, but they don't know for what purpose they are installing. First we have to know whether it is useful, for what purpose we are using the app. Only then we need to install the apps. Without knowing the useful of the apps, we have to not install the apps in our mobile at all. Next, should uninstall irrelevant apps. Yes, we have to uninstall the irrelevant apps. So all the irrelevant apps whichever you have, we have to uninstall immediately, because you have used any app you want for that time, you have used. Immediately uninstall that app after the using. Don't keep it in the mobile. It is waste of keeping in your mobile, because that app also will collect some data, and that data will be given to the other people. We don't know how long they'll be collecting the data. So immediately you have to uninstall the app. When an app installed on a mobile device, it will ask permission to access data like contacts, messages, camera, gallery, etc. Users should deny the permissions to access data which are irrelevant for the app. Yes, we have come across this point. So when you install any app, it will ask lot of permission. Like it lacks contacts, messages, camera, gallery. What we people know, we won't see at all. We used to give allo, allo, allo for all the permission, because we have to use that app. So what will happen when you give a camera, permission for the camera, messages, contacts, all the data will be fetched. Whatever you keep in the camera, whatever you do in the camera, that will be observed. It will be spied by the person. Gallery, you'll be having pics in the gallery, you'll be having videos, all that video pics will be also spied by the other people's messages, contacts, everything will be spied. So that's why when you install an app, you should be very careful in giving the permissions. If it is not necessary, if it is irrelevant, please deny the permissions for your apps. A simple example, do you think for the calendar app the camera is required here? When you install a calendar or a calculator app, install a calculator app, because you are in necessary of the calculator app. When you install, it will ask the permission of camera, it will ask you the permission of contact, messages. What we will do, we will be giving us allo, allo, allo. We will give the permissions allo. So what will happen? Your camera will be given permission, your camera mode will be on, and your messages permission will be on, your contacts will be on, everything will be given the permission. So easily they can hack. Whatever you are doing in your day-to-day life, that will be observed on the camera. We think that the camera has been off, the permission is given to that app. So everything will be observed in the camera. So all the options should be denied. So some apps, when you deny all the options, we cannot use the apps. In such situation, please don't install such types of apps at all. It's not required at all. Whichever, because we need our security issues. Based on the security issues only, we have to install the apps. Next, stop posting everything on this social media. Yes, this has become very crazy now. In social medias, we start to post everything what happens in our day-to-day life. Example, today we are preparing any food, we want to post in the social media. Today we are going any place, I am going to this place, I am traveling to so and so place. We are going to post in the social media. Why it is necessary? These all are nothing but our personal things. Why we want to post our personal things in our social media? Why everyone have to know these things? So these things are not needed to be posted in the social media. So don't put your pics, don't put your DPs, don't put the status. All these are unnecessary things on the social media. Stop playing violent online games. Already we have discussed about this. So we have to stop playing the violent games, because we become very violent, and we become very violent, and we become very emotionally triggered somewhat. So don't play the violent online games. Actually, we have to stop playing the games at all. That is itself is very good thing what we are doing in playing the online games. And very important things for babies, we have to not put the games, playing the games, showing them when they are very younger. For 10 months baby and all, we start putting the mobile rhymes, and the baby will be watching them. We never leave them in a natural environment to play. So stop doing all these things. Don't allow them for the mobile. You play with them, make them to play with you, engage with them. This how we have to engage with the children. This is very important for the children to do such type of activities, because nowadays we can't see in any playgrounds playing the children at all. They won't come out of their house, because everyone are hanged with their mobiles. In such a way we have kept them engaged, because we people are engaged in the phone, even they are engaged with their phone. Think that when we were in earlier ages, when we were little bit in small, how we were playing at outside. When we come from the schools or anything, we used to go and play outside. We have to enjoy the outside environment, but we never do such things for our children. So first encourage these things. Let they spend the time. Let they speak with their friends. Physical activities are needed to them. So all these things have to be encouraged for the children. Next, stop using TikTok. Yes, we have seen very much information about the TikTok. So please don't use the TikTok. Don't share the videos. Whatever you dance, what you sing, what you want to do, all these things should not be shared in the TikTok. Why it want to be shared? Why it has to be seen by other people throughout the world? It's not necessary. Don't know what they are doing keeping these videos. Whether we know, we are uploading thinking that we are good dancers, we are good singers. We are thinking like that when we are uploading, but don't know what the other people are doing with this video. So this is very useful. Next is, stop using foreign apps and start using the Indian apps. Yes, of course, this everyone has to follow. So stop using the foreign apps, start using the Indian apps. Example, we are using the WhatsApp. Instead of WhatsApp, we have Telegram. Telegram has come many years ago. Right, we never use that. We use WhatsApp because we are addicted to WhatsApp. First stop using that and start using the Telegram. So people should stop living in the mobile internet world and start living in the real world. So this is very important. So first stop being in the mobile internet world. Start living in the real world. So everyone, don't be addicted to, I'm not speaking only about the children. This addiction has even been happened for the adults also and for the elderly people also. Nowadays everyone have their mobile phones. Whether they're educated, whether they're uneducated, they have their mobile phones. But when it is necessary, use your mobile. But it is unnecessary, don't use your mobiles at all. The mobiles are mainly made for making the calls and receiving the calls. That's it. And if you want, now we need some internet, all these things, whichever it is necessary, you can browse and switch off. And very important thing, I don't know how many of you people are doing, once when you use your internet, immediately you have to switch off your mobile network. I don't know how many of you, because the complete whole night also the mobile network will be on. So do you think when your mobile network is on, all your apps mode also will be in on only? Whichever the permissions you have given allowed, no, that apps allowed permission will be all in on modes only. So all your data will be fetched by those apps and it will be sold to the other third party people. So it's very important. Once when you switch on your mobile network, after using, immediately switch off your mobile network. I think so you will be following from today this thing. It's very important. I hope the webinar was interesting. Thank you all for participating in the webinar. I thank our college management, our principal, Dr. Rekha Sethi ma'am, SWA officer and student counselor, Mrs. Nazneen Ahmed ma'am, for providing a wonderful opportunity to be a resource person and present the webinar. I also thank SWA coordinator, Mr. Praveen sir, for organizing this webinar. Next, the vote of thanks will be given by Mr. Praveen sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. Myself, Praveen, Assistant Professor, SBMJC, KGF, SWA Coordinator and Organizer of this session. Grabbed 10 years of experience in teaching field. It is a fruitful opportunity for me to thank all delegates encouraged to do this wonderful webinar session. First of all, I thank Mr. Mahendra Sir Ji, Trustee of SBMJC KGF, for his motivation towards all type of events. I would also like to thank Mrs. Rekha Sethi ma'am, Principal SBMJC KGF, a dynamic leader who encourages and support in all aspects to make everyone to step into success away. Next, I thank our resource person, Mrs. Nazneen ma'am, psychologist. She gives counseling for parents and as well as students for the bright success path. Next, Mrs. Madhavi N. Ma'am, Department of Computer Science. She guides the students to achieve the positive results. Next, I thank our beloved students coordinator Blossom Flower for making this webinar to grand successful. Miss Afsina Tasin, Miss Adeline, Miss Nivedita, my heartful thanks to you. We have reached nearly 1,250 plus responses from various places. From bottom of my heart, I thank all participants who have shown keen interest towards the webinar conducted by SBMJC KGF. Thanks for all the participants for making this event successful. Thank you so much.